And it is the former Rider, Brett Lawther, perfect so far this year. He'll hammer it away, and we're underway on Friday Night Football. Sexton takes it just outside the 10. Letcher on the 6 game, and this opens up an opportunity for Matthew Sexton, and he'll take it out beyond the 35. And there's a look at Trevor Harris, who's been absolutely lights out. 8 touchdowns and just 1 interception so far this season.
Yeah, and he said something to us this week. He said, as a quarterback, I try and trust my eyes, but listen to my feet. He wants to avoid what he calls a second hitch. He likes to get the ball up, but he said that takes place of scrambles, getting to my 3rd and 4th read instead of hitching for a second time. So it's really a high level of quarterback play out of him. I can't wait to watch this.
He will start it on his own 37. Wally Conley in it, running back. Once again this week, averaged 6.3 yards per carry last week. Harris, quick one. Keyshawn Johnson. Johnson made one man miss. Takes it out just short of the 45. Let's take a look at the Riders' starting offense.
Up front, we're looking at Jamarcus Hardrick outside. 6'4", 315 in year 12. In year 11, he won CFL's most outstanding offensive line. This is an elite unit, and he's the leader. It's really fun to watch. And then Sam Emelis. This guy could do it all. Get open versus man, get open in zone. But he did get a little banged up last week, so something to keep an eye on. How healthy is Sam Emelis?
Awkward tackle after he was thrust into special teams duties. Still had 4 catches last week for 65 yards. Harris gets this one away quickly, and that is broken up. Read well and picked up. And Ottawa takes over. Oh, that is just what they needed. Just what the doctor ordered. Red Blacks defense comes up big, and it's A.J. Allen with it. The former Rough Rider comes away with the turnover.
So you're going to see a bit of a blitz here from the left side of your screen, and as that comes, Trevor tries to replace the blitzer with the ball, but it's a phenomenal job by Adai to break that up
under review.
And pop the ball up.
They're going to take another look at this to see if A.J. Allen got underneath it entirely.
What a play by Adai, whether this stands or not.
Good read on that, right?
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot. Start this game out with some fireworks.
Well, if this stands, the momentum early in this game for the Red Blacks to get it at home against the excellent Riders team would be huge. This is what we believe being told is our best look at it. Let's see, here he is. He's going to come flying into the screen.
Pick.
Oh, I don't know how you're going to say that wasn't. I mean, that looks like he got both arms underneath it.
What a start. Again, I know a lot of people think this is going to be a blowout, and it's obviously extremely early. But at the second half, Jake Mayer played last week. I expect a very tight matchup.
And Mayer was outstanding in the second half last week. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. To me, it looked like it went off his forearm, then up into his chest, right?
That's the key. Now that I'm watching that, I do wonder, that, you know, in the replay center, it does bounce. This should tell us. This should tell us.
After automatic review, the ruling on the field stands. Interception.
Interception for the former Rider, A.J. Allen, a major free agent signing in the offseason, and just the second interception thrown for Trevor Harris early in this young season. And they will take over on the Rider 42. Could not ask for a better start. If you're a Red Blacks fan watching Friday Night Football tonight, thank you very much for joining us. Mayer's got 3 options, now 4 options out to his left. That's where he's going to throw, and he's got a completion at the 35-yard line, pushed ahead for an extra yard or 2 to his fullback, Gosselin. Here's a look at Jake so far this season. The 0-3, obviously you don't like. 820 yards so far this year, though.
Yeah, and again, I'm not making excuses for him, but he's not in a, he's in a very tough situation. I think he's going to start to click here very soon.
Flags will fly here on a 2nd and 2.
And what I mean by tough situation, again, it's a short
procedure.
Camp.
Ottawa number 61. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
It's a short camp. He wasn't the starter coming into camp. New head coach, different offense, all sorts of new receivers. You got to give him time. Okay, he can't just expect him to come in here and light up the league.
A lot of these times with quarterbacks around the league, you're familiar with a receiver or two from a different place. Not the case with Jake, right? So he had to start to connect. He had a great game a couple weeks ago with Aiden Eberhardt. Justin Hardy had over 100 yards last week. We'll see if they can build on that. 2nd and 2 after the penalty. Mayer, 3 options out to the right. Dumps it off. Finds his running back. And that is into the hands of Greg Bell. And it'll be a 1st down for Ottawa. Here's a guy that they definitely want to activate a little bit more.
Yeah, and talking to Coach Dinwiddie, he said it. This is a big offseason acquisition, and they're struggling to run the football a bit. Even when you get him the ball in the pass game, he's an electric runner. He can make guys miss. That is a huge point of emphasis for them today.
Just 9 catches in his first couple of games for 55 yards. Obviously heavily used in the pass game last couple of seasons with the Ticats. Fresh set of downs from the Rider 30. On the ground again. Big hole right up the middle. And Bell pushes it ahead. Let's take a look at this Ottawa starting offense tonight.
I'm excited to see Gio Vacardo tonight. It's his 4th CFL game out of Purdue via Manitoba. It's his toughest task yet. And then you go to, we just talked about it, Greg Bell, big offseason acquisition, was CFL East All-Star last year. He's got to get going if this team wants to have success.
On the ground again, looking for the first down. And it's going to be close. This will depend on the spot. They needed to find the 20. Might be just inches. And it will be just short, 3rd and inches. And they will keep the offense on the field and look to push it ahead. This would be a major buzzkill after that turnover, trying to get points on the board. Grayson Barnes into the game at quarterback, pushes it ahead. Like I said, just needed the 20. Looked like he had enough for that initial surge, didn't it?
I do think so, but for Ottawa, you'd like this to be it's a little too close for comfort.
And they're going to call for the sticks. They want to get another look at this. Needed the 20.
Yeah,
he's there. Looked like he had just enough.
Just enough, I would agree.
They'll measure, but that should be a first down. That'll help. That comes in from above.
The replay center has moved the spot up half a yard. It's a first down.
I think that's right. I mean,
yes,
that's what we saw on the replay. It looked like he was there by a little bit. So the replay center said, hey, don't worry about the measurement. Move it up half a yard. Good to go.
It's a hot start tonight, including for the replay center. They're on fire right now.
Everybody's firing on all cylinders here on Friday Night Football. Inside the red zone. Mayer right over the middle. Tackle made neatly by Jackson Ford. Let's take a look at the Riders D.
Yeah, this defensive line, it's kind of by committee, but the guy I'm looking for to watch today is James Vaughters. He actually fell out of the top 10 in QB pressures. I got a feeling they're talking to him a little bit, get him back going. Josh Woods out of BC from last year, okay, in year 6. I had a big pick last week, and I really see his role developing in this defense, and then I love watching Jackson Ford play. Out of the University of Regina, shout out the Rams. This guy was playing downhill last week. Look for him to continue that trend.
Might have been the best game of his young career last week for the Riders. Here's Mayer, second down. Little bit of time. Now he's going to take off. Jake Mayer on the run. Dumps it off far side. Into the 10. To the 5. To the end zone. Touchdown! Cade McDonald has his first CFL major. And the Red Blacks break the ice.
Dustin, you said it. Hot start. And this is just a broken play. Mayer does a great job extending. Again, not exactly how you drew it up. He's looking left. You can see this. It's a great pro up front. But what I also love is Pimbleton blocking here. You see him at the top of your screen, just getting an edge for his guys. That's receivers. They understand the task there. What an unbelievable start this far by Ottawa.
Lawther against his former club. Knocks it through. And Ottawa just over 5 minutes in. Shout out to Pimpleton down the field.
Yes.
Opening up the path.
I like it. I like it. Again, you can kind of feel the energy being here, Dustin. I think Jake Mayer is going to come to play tonight.
Ottawa has only scored 10 points in the first quarter of their first 3 games. They've got 7 here. Now on the return, that is Sexton. Takes it back base to break Flutie's record. Still early in the season, but how much longer will we be saying that? A little bit of communication error there on the snap, but they're able to hand it off, and a nice pickup right up the middle for Quali Conley.
I'll tell you this, Mark Mueller will be happy about this right here. First down, that was his big emphasis this week. Talking to him this week, he said, we want to win first downs. He felt like they didn't do that last week against Toronto. Comes out here, little what I call divide zone or slice. See receiver come back, kind of slice the backside. You fit right off of that. They get runs like that on first down, they're going to have a pretty easy night.
Yeah, first down leads to another first down. Conley, who had 50 yards on just 8 carries last week, also had his first CFL touchdown. And they're going to go to him again. Follows the big fellas. And is driven back against his Ottawa starting defense.
Yeah, up front, Baldonado, right now he's 6th in the league as far as quarterback pressure percentage goes, and they're going to need that tonight to try and disrupt Trevor Harris, so he's got a big, big task. Then we go to C.J. Rivas, spent the last 4 seasons with Sask. Could be a good chess matchup as far as, understanding what Trevor's trying to do. And I'll continue there with Amari Henderson. Year 4 out of Wake Forest, spent 2022 to 2024 with Saskatchewan. So also a DB now that does know what Trevor Harris is looking at, what he's trying to get done. Who will win that chess matchup between the QB and some of his former defensive players?
4 former Riders starting on defense for Ottawa. Ottawa, by the way, has their first lead of the season. Now far side, looking for Schaefer Baker, working against Bennett Williams. And KSB couldn't hang on to that one.
Dustin, I'll tell you this throw's unbelievable. When it left his hand, I was like, uh-oh. Okay, you're going to watch KSB. You're just going to run a little corner out. So here he goes. Okay, he's got inside leverage. Trevor sees it. Boom, we step there. A little push-up maybe. Look at the window. I know it's not a completion, but this is what makes this guy so great. He's got 1 foot box to fit it in there, and he says, no problem. I'll do this all day.
I'll throw it right there.
Oh, man.
Chapman out to kick it away, and it's blocked by the REDBLACKS. It'll come all the way out of bounds. Brian Cole gets there, and Ottawa's deep gets through here.
Yeah, and I want you to watch here. This drives your special teams coach crazy because it's not a crazy rush. We just literally rush right there, and you're going to watch number 5 on the left side of your screen, Antoine Brooks Jr., just kind of release, and you see how his head is looking back. Generally, there's a timing of when you can go. And clearly he took off a little early. So again, if you're the special teams coach, Kent Majeri, he's probably sitting there going, how on earth was that blocked? We've got enough guys to cover it up. Just kind of a lack of focus there for a quick second.
Their first possession started on the 42 of the Riders. This one starts a beautiful field position for Jake Mayer. They'll go on the ground for maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 9. Jake's opened the game a perfect 4-4.
I'll tell you, I know it's a 1-yard game, but that is a crucial stop by Saskatchewan. 1, because it's coming off the pump block, but 2, Ryan did what he said. He wants to get outside zone going with Greg Bell. And when you can't run outside zone for more than a yard, you shy away from calling it.
Gino Lewis, Justin Hardy to the wide side of the field for Mayer. He's going to go right over the middle. Tackle made, a tidy one from Woods after Cade McDonald hauled it in, and it'll be a field goal attempt for the REDBLACKS.
Just a great job again. You see 4-man rush, so you're able to drop 8. Saskatchewan rallies, keeps them short of sticks here. We call that sudden change. Okay, come off, block punt. We thought we'd have a nice field position. We don't. Great job by Saskatchewan's defense getting a 2 and out.
32-yarder for Brett Lowther, who was a career worst 72% last year. He's been perfect so far this year, and that will continue. 11 for 11, 10 points off turnovers in the early going.
I would get last place.
Eliminated.
Yeah.
Second episode.
Can we talk about my guy's Hulk hand there? There's a lot of Riders fans here today. I got to give a shout to Saskatchewan. They've showed up in Ottawa.
They were expecting a pretty good Riders contingent here. I bumped into their president today at the hotel, and he was expecting there to be a lot of green filtered throughout the crowd. Looks like there is. They'd like to see a better start here. Once again, nowhere to go for Conley, and it'll be a 2nd and long for Trevor Harris. Conley did a pretty good job last week, over 6 yards per carry. I guess we give credit to the Ottawa defense here early in this one.
Yeah, I'll say this team is playing very inspired right now, this team being Ottawa. Obviously got the turnover early. They blocked the punt. I think a big mismatch with Saskatchewan's offensive line versus D-line, and play like they won first down. Now they got to back it up here in second.
Ottawa early in this game looking like a team playing with a major sense of urgency. Harris Lays that one out there, a stumble of the intended target. He was looking for Emelis. Emelis never came out of that break clean, and it falls incomplete. 3rd and 10 for the Riders.
And again, tip your cap to Ottawa and their defense. Defensive coordinator Will Fields right now. Okay, you're going to see this here. You got quad look to the field. And you're trying to get Emelis in on a bender and a clear out. Yeah, it was a little trip, but it's still pretty gloved, Dustin. And what I say tip your cap to Will Fields is I have yet to see Trevor Harris in this offense look this out of sync all year. Granted, it's still early.
Bumpy start, though. Bumpy start.
Very early.
Here tonight on the road. This time they'll get it away cleanly. Way up there. Hangs way up. Pimpleton runs over. Will grab it just outside the 25. Cuts it back. Short return. Wrapped up.
These are two guys that respect each other immensely. Trevor Harris saying Jake's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in this league.
Well, it's funny with Jake. Like, you learn from Trevor. Trevor, at this stage of his career, still clipping along. Obviously has found a way to sustain a high level of success, and that's what Jake's trying to establish for himself.
Absolutely, and again, I think as the year progresses, especially under Ryan Dinwiddie, you're going to see this guy really develop into a premier thrower.
Riders send 5. Mayer gets it away, bobbled and incomplete off the hands of Justin Hardy, who had 119 yards last week and was there for Jake when he started cooking in the second half.
Yeah, and I want you to watch some of these throws here. Okay? It's on time. You can see he's delivered. Okay, boom, we got a 2-ball here. He floats. It's a great play by Keelan White. Took his matchup early on. He found the spot in the zone. That's what was most impressive. When I look at numbers, sometimes they can be misleading, Dustin. It's how did he get those numbers? The ball was out on time. It was against different coverages. I was thoroughly impressed with how he played in that second half.
That last pass attempt, his first incompletion of the game, leaves them in a 2nd and 10 on their own 34. Over the middle again. This one's held on to by Lewis, but he took a good pop in the back from Antoine Brooks.
Antoine Brooks looked like he's coming downhill here. Again, we're looking left. We're sitting in the zone. Just not much going on, but I will say this. This is the kind of game that Ryan Dinwiddie wants to have. He wants him to take the underneath stuff. One of the things Coach Dinwiddie told us before the game was that he himself will manufacture the shots. Take what's underneath, take what the defense gives you, and Coach Dinwiddie will be the one who wants you to pull the trigger on the big shots.
Gedman punts it away. Sexton waits and takes it just inside his own 20. And a quick burst back to around the 35-yard line, 54-yard kick. And Trevor Harris and the Riders will get the ball back here with 2:53 remaining in the first quarter. This is an offense that has averaged 35 points per game so far this season. You have to feel, like you said, this is probably the worst that it's looked all year. You have to think they start to figure it out at some point.
I do, and especially with the veterans they have, as much as it's been, again, a little out of sync thus far, it doesn't take much when you have this kind of wide receiver group, this quarterback, and this offensive line to get it back going.
See if Harris throws on first down here. Oh, they'll hand it off to Conley again, his 4th carry of the game this time. Found a little bit of room on the outside. That was shut down by Adrian Fry. But some positive yardage on first down. They'll give him about 5.
Watch Conley here press. And what I mean by press is this thing rolls here. It kind of looks like it's hemmed up. But if we pause it about right here, okay, he's going to continue to press into this block, okay, which basically settles the defensive feet. Okay, and now they come in so he can bounce outside and get 5 yards. So it would have been maybe a 2-yard gain. We're now setting at 2nd and 5, and our playbook is a little more open.
Conley went from Utah Tech to San Jose State before wrapping up his college career in Arizona. Harris over the middle, and that is hauled in by Johnson down inside the 50, and that is the first big spark offensively for the Riders. Johnson, 112 yards and a touchdown on 10 catches last week. This one goes for 24 yards.
Dustin, it's unfair. It's unfair. I mean, we're thrown to a spot here. It's a phenomenal catch by Johnson. Again, we're just rolling, kind of wrapping that linebacker. What happens in an offense that is this talented and has this many veterans is Trevor can trust his guys and basically throw it to a spot and know that they'll be there and get open.
After Emelis got hurt last week, Trevor really focused on Keyshawn Johnson, and it worked out. Let's take a look at what Keyshawn Johnson did. Most of this in the second half of last week's ball game.
And I don't think Keyshawn gets enough love. You see the 10 catches, 112. And because of how Schaefer Baker has started the year, obviously Sam Emlis, one of the best guys in the league. You know, they say, oh, he's their number 3 guy. He's not. He is a number 1 guy on a team that has a ton of talent.
Over 1,100 yards last season, 13 targets last week. He's been targeted 33 times so far this season. Coming into this game tonight, he's caught 2 tonight for 30 yards. Flags fly. Harris gets it away near side, reaching out and hauling it in. Duncan Busby. I think this is against Ottawa. I'm pretty sure they jumped the line.
It looked like Ottawa jumped a little bit, tried to get back. Obviously, crossed the neutral zone, didn't get back inside. In time, excuse me.
Let's get the call here.
Offside. Ottawa number 96. 5-yard penalty. Will repeat, second down.
All right, so Wakefield, the guilty party. He says it wasn't me. Let's take a look. Here's A.J. Allen. Watch Allen here, too. Yeah, I think it probably would have been A.J. Allen.
Wakefield gets the camera action, his name, and it's got nothing to do with him. That would annoy me, too.
That's when you sit down and film later, you go, hey, just so you know, that wasn't me, coach.
That's right. Take that stat off my sheet.
2nd and 4 for Harris. A bobble on the snap. Comes right to Connolly. Now he's going to try to make something out of nothing, and he's tripped up. And we'll see where they mark him down. You're going to mark him about a yard shy of a first down. A little bit of a mad scramble there. Quali Conley able to come up with this ball.
I'll tell you what I love right now is Tommy Stevens was halfway out on the field as soon as this thing went down. And it just gives your coach confidence. Hey, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. I can get this. You know, you love to see that as a coach.
You can tell Tommy Stevens to not go up and pick up a yard.
Right.
It'd be crazy. Stevens, 4 carries last week for 8 yards. He's got 3 touchdowns this season as well. And the big 6'4" quarterback will push it ahead, lunges to where he needs to be, and that will be a first down for the Riders as they are shut out in the